Wow, Christine, thank you so much for that question. And I think it is really hard to just put one moment because I'm a big believer that not one single moment is key as a turning point. I believe it is a combination of all blessings and life lessons since the day that we were born. Because I'm going to share a little bit of my story because as women, we have it a little bit harder sometimes. I come from very humble beginnings. This is actually that I've never really shared on a video chat before. And since this is for women, I want to make sure that people understand, like you said, whether you're a child in your teenage years or in your late 50s or 60s or even 70s, that we're all warriors. I was abandoned as a baby. I was then adopted by a family where my dad left us after I was only 2 years old. And I was raised by a single mother since the age of 2. A mother who back in the day, because she was born in 35, they didn't have the same opportunities that we have now. And she had 2 to 3 jobs. I was left on my own since I was 6, 7 at home. Nowadays, the law will be involved if somebody did that. So in life, I believe as women, we have 2 choices. No matter what happens to us, we can either be a victim and always say, poor little me, somebody come save me, come do something for me, or something inside of us kicks in and goes, I am a warrior. No matter what happens, I will take the life lesson and continue to the next. So I've had many moments from leaving Spain, where I was born at 17, to the United Kingdom, where I was taking care of children. I was an au pair, to then deciding that I would stay in the United Kingdom and that I would build a life for myself, because I always knew that there was more out there. My mom always told me, Elise, you can do whatever you want. Back in the day, you needed to have a degree. Education was the #1 thing, or you would be nobody. And nowadays in 2020, things have changed. Degrees are important, education is key, but education doesn't just come from school and university. We call it street smarts. We need a combination of what we learn from the books and what we learn from life. Having left and traveled to over 50 countries since the day that I left at 17, taught me many things, from every failure that I had in life, every time that something didn't work. I had this warrior gene that I call it that tells me, Elise, you can go better, you can do more, don't give up. Because it's always about not how many times you fall, it's about how many times you get up. It's getting up one more time. And as women, we are seen a little bit weaker. One of the biggest moments for me was when my body shape changed. I was in the fitness industry in my early 20s, and especially now we live in a society where we are judged by the way we talk, our accent. Both of us, English is not our first language, but here we are talking in a second language. And after I left the fitness industry due to health issues, I had a thyroid problem, my body shape changed, I put on weight, and that didn't change who I was inside, but people judged me differently. And it came to a point where I was very low. I was a little bit depressed because the people that used to talk to me before, all of a sudden didn't want to talk to me anymore. Like I wasn't worthy of being on a stage, for example, because I wasn't thin enough or because I wasn't good enough. And something inside me said, so I went off a stage for a couple of years. Then I came across personal development, and maybe we'll talk about that a little bit later. So I learned to respect myself. I learned to value myself, Christine. And then I thought, you know what? The thoughts and opinions of others should not impact who I am, the value that I bring to others, and I need to show who I am. All the key in life is be yourself, no matter what others think, because the right people will always stick to. So for me, going through what I went through was actually a blessing in disguise, because it showed me who was real and who wasn't. And although it was a very tough time in my life, and to this day, I still get bullied online. So I've been told, get off a stage. I will not repeat the names that they call me because they're not even worth mentioning. But as women, we get treated differently. And I want to tell everybody that it don't matter if in your head you have the right mindset and the attitude. So for me, that was, I would say, out of all the moments, because we could probably talk for 24 hours and I wouldn't be finished, one of the moments that truly changed, because I had fear. I struggled and I didn't know if everybody else was right. And I kept asking myself, what's wrong with me? Am I not good enough? Are they right? And I allowed them to affect my mind. Of course, that's not the case now, as most people know, but it did. And it's because we live in a society where women are not always looked the same, or we have double standards, and women are always left in the background, or we are meant to be different. And I believe we are all powerful individuals.
Warrior, I heard that word, so powerful, right? Is that word you talk about?
Correct. I love the word warrior, Christine, because a warrior is a sign of someone that doesn't give up, someone that has a positive attitude, whether you're a man or a woman or a child. But of course, this is related to women now. We all have that warrior inside. Don't worry about the rest and those that don't believe in you. The biggest part is for us to believe in here, to believe in ourselves, to know, what am I passionate about? What do I value? What is it that I truly want to do? And there is nothing wrong with taking 20 or 30 years to figure it out, Christine, because not everybody wakes up one day and goes, oh, I'm 15 years old today, or I'm 20, and I know what I want to do for the rest of my life. That's not normally what happens. Sometimes we go up to 50 or 60, and that's when we have the light bulb moment that goes, oh my, this is not for me. I worked at an airport for 13 years. I did multiple things, and I always developed myself because I knew that there was something more for me, but it didn't mean that I figured it out in 1 year or two. My original plan, oh, I will be here 2 years and then I will do X, Y, and Z. That's not how life plans it. I ended up being there for 13 years. When I look back to it now, I don't even know where that time went. Over a decade of my life working at an airport. But the key was, Christine, that the warrior in me said, in your hours that you're off, in the days that you're off, continue learning, continue developing, find the skills, do something else to see what makes you passionate. If this airport makes you passionate, then stop looking, but it didn't. It was just a transition period until you find something that when you wake up, you smile. Something that when you wake up, you go, wow, I cannot wait to do this again. And if for a little while that is your hobby, you need to work on it part-time, then do that. Just make sure that every day you work on yourself. That's what being a warrior means. Keep continuing to work and develop on yourself.